Hello everybody. Britt's return to Port Charles, the shocking revelation of her secret son Liam with Jason Morgan, the unexpected comeback that has shaken General Hospital. The return of Dr. Britt Westburn to Port Charles has sent shockwaves through the fictional town of upstate New York, particularly with her earth-shattering revelation about a secret child. After being presumed dead for over 2 years following her tragic encounter with the Hook Killer, Britt's comeback has brought with it one of the most explosive storylines in General Hospital's recent history: the existence of Liam, her son with Jason Morgan. Kelly Thibault's return to the ABC daytime drama in July 2025 marks a pivotal moment for the long-running soap opera. The actress, who won a Daytime Emmy Award in 2020 for her portrayal of the complex Dr. Britt Westburn, had seemingly closed the chapter on her character when Britt died from the Hook Killer's poisoned weapon in January 2023. However, soap opera fans know that death is rarely permanent in Port Charles, and Britt's return has proven this axiom once again. The Jason Morgan connection, a love story revisited. Jason Morgan, portrayed by Steve Burton, has been at the center of numerous dramatic storylines since his return to General Hospital in March 2024. The character's tumultuous journey, including his undercover work with the FBI and his presumed death, has kept viewers on the edge of their seats. When Jason learned of Britt's supposed death upon his return to Port Charles, the emotional weight of their lost connection was palpable to longtime fans who had invested in their romantic storyline. The revelation of Liam's existence adds a new dimension to the Jason-Britt dynamic that had previously captivated audiences. Their relationship, which developed during some of the show's most compelling episodes, represented a softer side of Jason's typically stoic character. Britt's influence on Jason showed viewers a different facet of the mob enforcer, one that was vulnerable and capable of deep emotional connection. The mystery of Liam's concealment. The question that has dominated Port Charles gossip circles is why Britt kept Liam's existence a secret from Jason for so long. Given the dangerous nature of Jason's lifestyle and his connections to the Corinthos crime family, Britt may have believed that protecting their son required complete secrecy. The timing of her revelation coincides with significant upheaval in Jason's life, including his recent legal troubles and the ongoing custody battles involving other children in Port Charles. Britt's decision to hide Liam could also be connected to her own complicated family history, being the daughter of notorious villain Caesar Faison and Dr. Liesl Obrecht. Understanding the burden of growing up with criminal parents, Britt may have wanted to spare Liam from the same fate by keeping him away from Jason's dangerous world. The broader impact on Port Charles families. The revelation of Liam's existence has far-reaching implications for several Port Charles families. Jason's role as a father figure to other children in town, including his connection to the Quartermain and Corinthos families, means that Liam's arrival will undoubtedly shift family dynamics. The Quartermain mansion, already a hotbed of intrigue and family drama, may need to accommodate another potential heir to the family legacy. For Britt, introducing Liam to his father represents a significant risk. Jason's world is filled with danger, from rival mob families to federal investigations, and bringing a child into that environment requires careful consideration. The show's writers have historically used children as catalysts for character development and plot advancement, and Liam's introduction promises to follow this tradition. Kelly Thibault's return, behind the scenes. Executive producer Frank Valentini expressed his excitement about bringing Kelly Thibault back to the show, stating that they have some great twists and turns planned for her character. While the show initially remained coy about whether Thibault would return as Britt or a new character, the revelation of Liam suggests that she is indeed reprising her beloved role. Thibault herself commented on her return, saying it is good to be home, indicating her enthusiasm for rejoining the General Hospital family. Her previous departure from the show was on her own terms, as she had requested that Britt's story end definitively. However, the allure of soap opera storytelling and fan demand may have contributed to her decision to return with this explosive new storyline. The science of soap opera storytelling. General Hospital has a long history of bringing characters back from presumed death, often through creative storytelling devices. The show's writers have explored everything from witness protection programs to elaborate faking of deaths, and Britt's return fits within this tradition of dramatic resurrections. The introduction of Professor Henry Hank Dalton's mysterious laboratory and rumors of cloning storylines provide potential explanations for how Britt could have survived her encounter with the Hook Killer. The timing of Britt's return also aligns with General Hospital's July sweeps period, a crucial ratings period when soap operas traditionally unveil their most dramatic storylines. The combination of a beloved character's return, a secret child revelation, and the involvement of fan favorite Jason Morgan creates the perfect storm of soap opera drama that keeps viewers tuning in day after day. Fan reactions and social media buzz. The General Hospital fan community has been actively discussing the possibility of Britt's return and the implications of her connection to Jason. Podcast discussions and online forums have been filled with speculation about how the show would handle bringing back a character who had such a definitive ending. The revelation of Liam has vindicated many fans who believe that Britt's story deserved a more complete resolution. Social media platforms have been buzzing with theories about Liam's age, his resemblance to his parents, and how his presence will affect ongoing storylines in Port Charles. Longtime viewers have noted parallels to other secret child storylines in the show's history, drawing connections to similar revelations that have shaped the soap opera's narrative over its 6-decade run. Looking forward, the future of the Western Morgan family. As Britt settles back into life in Port Charles with Liam, the challenges ahead are numerous. Jason's commitment to his dangerous lifestyle, his relationships with other women, and his responsibilities to the Corinthos organization will all factor into how he approaches fatherhood with his newly discovered son. Britt, meanwhile, must navigate re-establishing her medical career while protecting Liam from the various threats that seem to perpetually surround Port Charles residents. The introduction of Liam also opens up possibilities for future storylines involving the next generation of Port Charles residents. Children on soap operas often grow up quickly through the storytelling device known as SORA's soap opera rapid aging syndrome, meaning that Liam could potentially become a teenager within a few years of story time, creating new romantic and dramatic possibilities for the show. Next, we will dive deep into the turbulent saga of Willow and Drew, a storyline that has left fans of General Hospital both riveted and frustrated. As the drama unfolds in Port Charles, many viewers are left wondering if this chaotic relationship will ever find resolution or if the writers are determined to drag us through an endless cycle of heartbreak and poor decisions. Let's explore the intricacies of Willow's plight, Drew's dramatic transformation, and the burning question on everyone's mind: is it time to end the Drillo disaster once and for all? Buckle up, because this is going to be a detailed journey through the emotional wreckage of one of daytime TV's most polarizing couples. The saga of Willow and Drew has been a roller coaster of emotions, with Willow's life spiraling into a vortex of despair that seems to have no bottom. Once a character who inspired sympathy with her battle against cancer, Willow now wanders the streets of Port Charles in a daze. Her spirit seemingly broken after losing custody of her beloved children, Wiley and Amelia. The court's decision was a gut punch, delivered with a laundry list of reasons that, while logical on paper, shattered her world into 1,000 pieces. And beknownst to Willow and her circle, the sinister hand of Sidwell, a shadowy figure with undisclosed motives, influenced the judge's ruling, a plot twist that adds another layer of betrayal to her already tragic story. As she stumbles through her days, her vacant expression and listless demeanor echo the darkest times of her illness, when she could barely muster the strength to leave the couch. But now, it's not a physical ailment holding her back, it's the weight of emotional devastation and the questionable choices she continues to make. Why, fans wonder, does she seem so incapable of breaking free from the toxic cycle that binds her to Drew? Drew, on the other hand, has undergone a transformation so jarring that longtime viewers can hardly recognize the man he once was. From a charming, reliable figure in Port Charles, he has morphed into a manipulative schemer, despised by nearly everyone on screen and off. This dramatic shift in personality has left the audience scratching their heads. We turn a beloved character into the town's most loathed villain. Was this change meant to inject fresh conflict into the storyline, or is there a deeper redemption arc waiting in the wings? Each episode seems to peel back another layer of Drew's deceit, as he concocts increasingly reckless plans to keep Willow under his thumb. Whether it's fabricating half-truths to protect her or spinning elaborate lies to justify his actions, Drew's schemes grow more audacious by the day. Yet, what remains unclear is his ultimate endgame. Is he driven by love, obsession, or something far more sinister? Some fans speculate that a traumatic event, perhaps a literal blow to the head, might snap him back to the Drew they once knew, but as time drags on, that hope feels more like a distant dream. Instead, we watch him sink deeper into moral decay, dragging Willow along with him into an abyss of bad decisions. Perhaps the most maddening aspect of this storyline is Willow's persistent inability to see through Drew's facade. Despite losing everything that matters to her, most notably, custody of her children, she remains inexplicably tethered to him. Fans have taken to social media to vent their frustrations, practically begging Willow to wake up and smell the coffee before it's too late. Losing Wiley and Amelia should have been the ultimate wake-up call, a moment of clarity to make her reassess her life choices. Yet, astonishingly, it wasn't enough. Instead of walking away, Willow has doubled down on her loyalty to Drew, even agreeing to a marriage proposal that has left viewers slack-jawed. The idea of tying herself to a man who has systematically dismantled her happiness feels like a cruel joke, and many are left wondering if the writers are deliberately testing the audience's patience. Could this engagement be the setup for a dramatic turning point, or are we doomed to watch Willow blindly follow Drew down a path of no return? One thing is certain, the collective groan from the fanbase grows louder with every episode, as they yearn for Willow to rediscover the strength and independence she once showed in the face of life-threatening illness. Adding fuel to the fire is the sheer audacity of Drew's manipulations, which seem to know no bounds. Just when you think he can't stoop any lower, he finds a new way to twist the knife. From convincing Willow that signing over temporary guardianship of her children to him was for their safety to gaslighting her into believing she's overreacting to his questionable behavior, Drew has become a master of psychological warfare. Each new ploy is more infuriating than the last, and yet Willow falls for it every single time, her trust in him seemingly unshakable despite the mounting evidence of his duplicity. This dynamic has sparked heated debates among viewers. Is Willow's naivety a realistic portrayal of someone caught in a toxic relationship, or has it crossed into the realm of caricature, making her appear almost comically oblivious? Some argue that her behavior mirrors the real-life struggles of those trapped in manipulative partnerships, while others feel the writers have pushed her gullibility past the point of believability. Whatever the case, the frustration is palpable. Fans are desperate for a moment of reckoning, a scene where Willow finally sees Drew for who he truly is and takes a stand. The General Hospital writing team seems to revel in keeping us on edge, dangling the possibility of resolution while simultaneously piling on more drama. One popular fan theory suggests that the show might be building toward a classic soap opera whodunit who shot Drew storyline that could finally bring an end to this tortuous chapter. Imagine the suspense of Drew's misdeeds catching up with him, leading to a climactic confrontation where someone, perhaps a vengeful Michael, a betrayed ally, or even a newly empowered Willow, decides enough is enough. The fallout could be explosive, with accusations flying, secrets spilling, and the entire town of Port Charles picking sides in the aftermath. If the writers are indeed planning such a twist, many fans are pleading for them to act quickly and put this ill-fated couple out of their misery. The slow burn of Drillo has been agonizing, and while soap operas thrive on drawn-out conflict, there's a growing consensus that this particular arc has overstayed its welcome. Could a dramatic exit for Drew, or at least a seismic shift in their relationship, the jolt this storyline needs to regain its spark? As we reflect on the broader implications of Willow and Drew's story, it's worth considering what this arc reveals about General Hospital's approach to character development and audience engagement. Soap operas have always walked a fine line between heightened drama and relatable human struggles, and the Drillo saga is a prime example of how that balance can tip. On one hand, Drew's descent into villainy offers a compelling study of how power and desperation can corrupt even the most well-intentioned individuals. On the other, Willow's passivity risks alienating viewers who crave strong, proactive heroes to root for. Perhaps the ultimate test for the writers will be whether they can salvage these characters in a way that feels authentic and satisfying. Might Willow emerge from this ordeal as a phoenix rising from the ashes, her hardships forging her into a fierce advocate for herself and her children? Or will Drew's dark path lead to an irredeemable downfall, a cautionary tale of what happens when trust is weaponized? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear, the fans are hungry for a resolution that honors the emotional investment they've poured into these characters over the years. So, where do we go from here? As the days tick by in Port Charles, the question of whether Willow and Drew's story will ever wrap up looms larger than ever. For every fan who's ready to throw in the towel on this pairing, there's another holding out hope for a surprising twist that could redeem the arc or at least provide a cathartic conclusion. Are you among those exhausted by the endless cycle of manipulation and heartbreak? Or do you believe there is still a chance for Willow to reclaim her agency and for Drew to face the consequences of his actions? Your thoughts matter, and we'd love to hear them. Drop a comment below with your predictions, frustrations, or wild theories about what's next for Drillo. Is it time to pull the plug on this doomed romance? Or do you think the best drama is yet to come? Next, we will uncover the explosive drama surrounding Cody Bell's dangerous scheme to seduce Ava Jerome, a plot orchestrated by Cristina Corinthos Davis that threatens to unravel relationships and ignite deadly consequences in Port Charles. As secrets spill and betrayals come to light, the ripple effects of this deception could alter the power dynamics of several key players. Join us as we delve into the intricate web of seduction, blackmail, and revenge, with fresh details and creative twists that paint a vivid picture of the chaos brewing on General Hospital. From shocking confrontations to sudden departures, this storyline is packed with tension, and we're here to break it all down for you in vivid detail. The saga begins with a risky plan hatched by Cristina Corinthos Davis, who has enlisted Cody Bell in a covert mission to seduce the enigmatic Ava Jerome. This scheme isn't born out of petty jealousy but rather a desperate bid to dismantle the toxic alliance between Ava and Rick Lansing, who have been using their leverage to blackmail Christina's mother, Alexis Davis. The goal is clear: drive a wedge between Ava and Rick by creating an irresistible temptation in the form of Cody, a charming newcomer with a knack for getting under people's skin. However, as Cody embarks on this mission, weaving a web of flirtation and deceit, there's an undercurrent of danger. Ava, after all, is no stranger to manipulation herself, and her sharp instincts could easily sniff out a rat. What Cristina didn't anticipate was how deeply Cody might entangle himself in this charade, or how quickly his actions could spiral beyond anyone's control. As whispers of their clandestine encounters begin to circulate through Port Charles, the stage is set for a catastrophic fallout that could leave permanent scars on everyone involved. Will Cody's charm offensive succeed, or will it blow up in a way that even Cristina couldn't predict? The plot thickens as Cody's seduction of Ava escalates, crossing boundaries that can't be uncrossed. After several steamy rendezvous behind closed doors at Ava's lavish gallery loft, the illusion of passion starts to blur into something more complicated for both parties. But the house of cards comes crashing down when Cristina, ever the puppet master, orchestrates a devastating reveal by tipping off Rick Lansing to catch Ava and Cody in the. Picture the scene. Rick bursts into Ava's bedroom, his face contorted with rage, to find her tangled in the sheets with Cody, the betrayal written in every heated glance. The confrontation is immediate and ferocious. Rick lunges at Cody, fists flying, while harsh words cut deeper than any punch. Amid the chaos, Cody drops a bombshell, confessing that this affair has been ongoing and, shockingly, that he's developed genuine feelings for Ava. Rick, humiliated and heartbroken, spits out a venomous retort, telling Cody he can have her before storming out, effectively ending his volatile romance with Ava. And seen in the shadows, Cristina eavesdrops on the fiery exchange, a smirk playing on her lips as she revels in the destruction of Ava and Rick's partnership. For her, this isn't just personal, it's strategic. With their relationship in tatters, the blackmail payments funneled from the Dolo's fund to Ava and Rick through Alexis might finally stop, freeing her family from their grip. But has Cristina underestimated the wrath she's unleashed? In the aftermath of the breakup, Ava finds herself grappling with unexpected emotions as she processes the loss of Rick and the confusing connection she's forged with Cody. She had begun to see Cody as more than just a fling, drawn to his roguish charm and the way he seemed to understand the darker corners of her soul. So, when Cody abruptly announces his desire to end their dalliance, citing interest in someone else, Ava is blindsided. Standing in the dim light of her gallery, surrounded by haunting art pieces that mirror her fractured heart, she forces a smile and nods, hiding the sting of rejection. But the real blow comes moments after Cody exits her world. As Ava steps outside to clear her head, she stumbles upon a damning scene in a hushed, conspiratorial conversation with Cristina just beyond her doorstep. Her blood runs cold as she overhears the truth. Cristina paid Cody to seduce her, all as part of a calculated move to sabotage her relationship with Rick and halt the blackmail scheme against Alexis. That conniving little viper, Ava hisses under her breath, her mind racing with fury as she pieces together how thoroughly she's been played. The revelation isn't just a betrayal, it's a declaration of war. Ava Jerome is not one to be toyed with, and both Cody and Christina are about to learn that lesson the hard way. Fueled by rage and a thirst for retribution, Ava wastes no time in confronting Cody about his role in Christina's scheme. She tracks him down to a dingy bar on the edge of Port Charles, where he's nursing a drink, oblivious to the storm about to hit. The air crackles with tension as Ava strides in, her eyes blazing, and lays into him with cutting precision. "I know everything, Cody. Christina paid you to crawl into my bed, to play me for a fool," she snarls, her voice low but laced with menace. Cody's face pales as she continues, reminding him of her infamous reputation, how crossing her has historically led to dire consequences for others, with a body count to prove it. The threat hangs heavy between them as Ava warns him that he's treading on very thin ice. "You'd be wise to disappear before I do something we both regret," she hisses, her words dripping with a chilling promise. Cody, visibly shaken, realizes he's in over his head. He knows Ava's history, her unpredictability, her ruthlessness, and the fear of what she might do if he stays nose at him. This isn't just a lover's spat, it's a matter of survival. Will Cody heed her warning, or will his pride keep him in Port Charles to face the consequences? Ultimately, the weight of Ava's threat proves too much for Cody to ignore. After a restless night haunted by visions of Ava's cold stare, he makes the harrowing decision to flee Port Charles under the cover of darkness. Packing a single duffel bag, he leaves behind the life he'd started to build, driven by the primal instinct to save himself from Ava's potential wrath. There's barely time to warn Christina of the danger. Perhaps a hurried text or a cryptic voicemail is all he can manage before hitting the road to parts unknown. Maybe he's headed to a sleepy coastal town far from the drama of Port Charles, or perhaps he'll seek refuge with a distant relative who owes him a favor. Wherever he lands, Cody knows one thing for certain: staying would mean risking everything. His sudden departure leaves a void in the storyline, but also a lingering question: has he truly escaped Ava's reach, or will her long shadow follow him no matter where he hides? Back in Port Charles, whispers of his exit spread like wildfire, with some residents relieved and others worried about the ripple effects of his absence. Christina, if she learns of Ava's discovery, might brace herself for retaliation, knowing she's painted a target on her own back. As this chapter of deception and danger unfolds on General Hospital, the fallout from Cody's scheme promises to reshape alliances and ignite new conflicts in Port Charles. What do you make of this tangled web? Do you believe Cody's seduction of Ava will have lasting consequences beyond his departure, or was this merely a fleeting plot to stir the pot? Will Ava uncover more about Christina's machinations and exact her revenge in a way that shakes the Corinthos family to its core? And perhaps most intriguingly, could Cody's exit be temporary, paving the way for a dramatic return when least expected? We're eager to hear your thoughts, predictions, and wild theories. Drop them in the comments below. Until the next jaw-dropping episode, keep tuning into General Hospital for more twists, turns, and heart-stopping drama. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the seductive schemes and dangerous games playing out in Port Charles. We'll see you soon with more spoilers and insights to keep you on the edge of your seat.